everyone, and welcome to Speak Up English Podcasts.
If you're learning English and you're at an intermediate to advanced level, you're in the right place. Here, we use real, natural conversations about fascinating topics to help you improve your fluency, learn new vocabulary, and understand the nuances of the English language.
So whether you're curious about the health benefits of baking soda in your laundry or the global phenomenon of a Chinese blockbuster that made $2 billion without any Americans, we've got you covered.
Each dialogue is designed to expose you to authentic English, just like how native speakers really talk. So grab your notebook, relax, and let's get started with today's listening practice on Speak Up English podcasts.
So without further ado, let's begin.
Two friends, Lena and Chloe, are scrolling through streaming options on a Friday night. A bowl of popcorn sits between them.
Ugh, there's nothing good. We've seen everything. I feel like I could recite the entire Marvel timeline by heart.
Right? It's all the same. I was reading about this the other day. The highest grossing animated film of all time came out this year, and we've probably never even heard of it.
What, another Frozen? Did Elsa build a bigger ice castle?
Nope. It's a Chinese film. Ne Zha 2. It just made over $2 billion.
$2 billion? How have I not seen a single trailer? Who's in it?
That's the thing. It's all in Mandarin. It's a retelling of some 16th century Chinese folk novel. It's the first non-English film to hit that mark. It made all that money almost entirely in China.
Whoa. So it made more than Avatar? Without us?
Basically, it's the 5th highest grossing film ever. The top US film on the domestic list is The Force Awakens at $936 million. This thing did more than double that just in one country.
That's insane. So what's it about? Is it any good?
I read a review. It sounds massive, like battle scenes that put Lord of the Rings to shame with how many characters are on screen. All the big, loud, explosive stuff we get in Transformers movies. The reviewer said the Chinese have basically mastered the galactic-scale summer blockbuster, just like they did with skyscrapers and high-speed trains.
So it's all spectacle, but is the story any good?
That seems to be the big question. The plot is super convoluted. Something about the hero, Ne Zha, and his angelic counterpart having to share a body to fight a demon invasion. There's a lot of potty humor, apparently, and these endless, meticulously choreographed fight scenes that go on forever. The reviewer compared them to Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, man. So it's a lot of grunting and punching.
A lot. But it also gets weirdly dark. There's a scene where a city gets destroyed, and they show a family, including a kid, frozen in ash. One cloyingly adorable character gets killed off for a plot device. The hero's mom gets turned into a magical pill by the villain.
A magical pill?
What? That's different. Right? And the villain's whole plan is to trap everyone in a giant golden cauldron and turn them into pills to create a mindless army.
I'm sorry, a giant golden cauldron? That is the most unhinged villain plot I've ever heard. And I've seen Moonraker.
I know. The reviewer said the final showdown is like an extended video game cutscene. He found himself checking his watch, but the kids in the theater were on the edge of their seats.
So it's for kids? With family death and homunculus bodies?
It's a whole vibe. The weirdest part is people trying to map political messages onto it. Some think the villain's mindless army is a metaphor for Western hegemony. Others say it's about the CCP.
Of course they did.
The review shot that down, though. Critics from Slate said it best. It may shock some Americans to learn that many Chinese people, on many days, don't even have the thought of America cross their minds. It's probably not that deep. It's just a nationalist folktale.
It's just wild to think about a cultural phenomenon that huge happening completely parallel to our own. It's a behemoth, a $2 billion movie that's basically a what without a why for anyone outside its culture.
Exactly. It's full of sound and fury, signifying something largely inscrutable to us. It achieved the most American end of all, a record-breaking spectacle, just not for Americans.
Well, now I'm curious. Is it streaming anywhere?
I think it got a tiny re-release here and made like $20 million, so probably not. We're not the target audience.
Back to the algorithm, I guess. Maybe Die Hard is considered a Christmas movie?
It is, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
Two friends, Chloe and Mark, are on a hiking trail. Chloe stops to fill her water bottle from a fast-moving stream. Listen carefully to their dialogue and try to understand as much as you can.
Whoa, what are you doing? Don't just drink that.
Why not? It looks super clean, and I'm boiling it anyway. See, I brought my portable stove. Boiling kills everything, right?
I thought so too, but I was just reading this article on Britannica, that super reliable site, and it's way more complicated than that.
Seriously? What's complicated about boiling? Heat bad, germs die. Science.
Okay, yes, the heat part is true. Boiling is like the gold standard for killing pathogens. It absolutely nukes bacteria, viruses, and parasites. Giardia, E. coli, cholera, all toast after a solid minute at a rolling boil.
See? So I'm good. I'll give it a good 3 minutes, just to be safe.
But that's the thing. The germs aren't the only problem. Boiling does nothing for other contaminants.
Like what?
Like chemicals or heavy metals. If this stream has runoff from a farm, there could be pesticides or fertilizers in it. Boiling won't remove those. In fact, it can make it worse by concentrating them as the water evaporates.
Ew. Okay, I did not think about that. What else?
Stuff like lead, arsenic, or salt. If you're near old pipes or mining operations, or hiking near the ocean, boiling won't get rid of that. You need a proper filter for that.
So boiling is basically a one-trick pony. Great for living things, useless for chemical things.
Exactly. The article called it a highly effective disinfectant, but not a purifier. There's a difference. Disinfecting means killing organisms. Purifying means removing all contaminants, including chemicals and particles.
So my plan is only half good. I'd be drinking sterile, pesticide-flavored water. Not exactly a health tonic.
Pretty much. For this to be truly safe, you'd need to boil it and run it through a filter. Or just use a filter that's rated to remove chemicals as well as microbes.
Well, crap. I only brought the stove. So what's the verdict, Doc? Do I risk it?
If we're truly in a backcountry emergency and this is the only water source, then yes, boiling is 1,000,000 times better than nothing. It will prevent you from getting a nasty parasite. That'll ruin your trip and your tent.
A vivid image, thank you.
But if we had a choice, I'd say let's hold off until we get to that visitor center in a couple miles and fill up at a proper tap. Better safe than sorry.
Deal. My thirst can wait. Thanks for the science lesson. I guess I won't be starring on Survivor anytime soon.
Hey, knowing what you don't know is the first step to not getting Giardia. That's my motto.
It's a good one. Let's get moving. I'll take sips from your filtered bottle until we get there.
See? Now that's safe.
You will listen to two roommates, Sophia and Leo. They are in their kitchen. Sophia is pouring herself a huge cup of coffee at 10 p.m. Leo looks on, horrified. Listen carefully and try to understand the new words and phrases as they appear to you.
Whoa, hold on. Are you actually making a pot of coffee now? It's practically bedtime. Do you want to be staring at the ceiling until 3 a.m.?
But you assume this is full calf. Behold, the magic of decaf. All the cozy ritual, none of the regrettable insomnia.
Okay, but that's always weirded me out. What's the point? And more importantly, how do they even do that? How do you get the caffeine out of a coffee bean? It's like, how do you take the salt out of the ocean?
Right? I used to wonder the same thing. I actually got curious and read this really cool article on Britannica about it. It's way more complex than I thought.
I'm guessing they just, wash it or something?
Not quite. There are a few main ways, and it all starts with steaming the beans. They steam them to make them porous, so the caffeine can be extracted.
Okay, so they open the door, and then how do they kick the caffeine out?
The oldest method uses chemical solvents. They basically rinse the beans with this stuff, usually ethyl acetate or methylene chloride.
Whoa, chemicals? They wash our coffee with industrial solvents? That sounds incredibly unhealthy.
I know, it sounds terrifying, but the article was super clear that the beans are rinsed and steamed again after that, so virtually all the solvent is removed. The FDA has super strict limits on any residue, and it's apparently a trace amount, like way less than you'd find in a ripe banana, naturally.
Okay, that's slightly less alarming, but still, methylene chloride is what I use to strip paint. I think I'd prefer a different method.
Good news, there's the Swiss water process. It's chemical-free and sounds like science magic.
I like science magic. Go on.
They soak the beans in really hot water, which dissolves the caffeine and all the coffee solids, the stuff that gives coffee its flavor. Then they run that water through a carbon filter. The filter is sized to only trap the big caffeine molecules, letting the flavorful oils pass through.
So they've got this flavor-rich water.
Yes, and then they take a new batch of beans and soak them in that flavor-charged water. Since the water is already saturated with coffee flavors, the only thing that leaves the new beans is the caffeine. It's like a flavor swap. The caffeine comes out, but the flavor stays in.
That is genuinely brilliant. So the beans never lose their flavor, they just lose the caffeine.
Exactly. There's also a method that uses carbon dioxide under high pressure to act as a solvent. It's super efficient and also doesn't use harsh chemicals.
So which one is best? Is my decaf full of paint thinner, or is it Swiss?
Looks at her bag of beans. It usually says on the package if it's Swiss water process or CO2 process, because they're proud of it. If it doesn't say, it's probably the solvent method. But again, the article stressed that all the methods are considered safe.
Huh. So my mental image of someone patiently picking caffeine molecules out of each bean with tweezers was wrong.
Sadly, yes. But isn't it cooler to know the real science? It's not just one thing. It's a whole field of caffeinated engineering.
It really is. Okay, you've convinced me. Pour me a cup of your scientifically magic sleep-friendly bean juice.
Pouring him a mug. See? Now we can both enjoy the vibe without the vibrations.
To science.
To sleep.
You will listen to two friends, Jasmine and Lena. They are sitting in a park. Lena is scrolling through her phone, while Jasmine watches the world go by. Listen carefully and try to understand the new words and phrases as they appear to you.
You know, it's a beautiful day. The birds are chirping, the sun is out, and you're staring at that tiny rectangle.
Sorry, it's a habit. I was just checking if Mia texted me back about the movie tonight. It's crazy how we're just always connected now.
I know, right? It's wild to think we grew up without these things. Remember having to call someone's house phone and ask their parents if they could come out to play?
Don't remind me. My mom would always get the message wrong. But honestly, sometimes I miss it. I was reading this big debate on Britannica about this exact thing. Are smartphones a total blessing or a secret curse?
Ooh, a debate. I feel like I can argue both sides. What's the good stuff they said?
So much. Safety, for one. If my car broke down right now, I could call for help instantly. You can't put a price on that. Or like maps. We never have to get lost or struggle with a giant paper map again.
True. And I love that I can video call my grandma whenever I want. It makes her feel so much closer. And all the knowledge. You can literally look up anything, anytime. It's like having the world's library in your pocket.
Right? It's amazing for that. But then there's the other side. The article talked about how it's maybe making us less connected in real life. Like we're all together, but we're just on our phones, not talking. It's called phubbing, snubbing someone with your phone.
Okay, that's a real thing. I hate that. And what about our brains? I feel like my attention span is shot. I can't even watch a movie without checking my phone.
Totally. The article mentioned that too. All those quick little dopamine hits from notifications can make it harder to focus on deep work. And don't even get me started on social media and comparing ourselves to everyone's highlight reels. It can be really bad for mental health, especially for kids.
It's so true. And the constant access, it's like there's no off button for work or school. Your boss can email you at 10 p.m. and expect an answer.
Ugh, don't remind me. And then there's the privacy thing. These things are basically tracking devices we willingly carry around. It's a little creepy when you think about it.
So what's the verdict? Are they good or bad?
I think the article's point was that there is no simple verdict. It's not all good or all bad. It's a tool. It's all about how we use it.
So, like most powerful things, it can be used for amazing stuff or really unhealthy stuff. The problem isn't the phone, it's us.
Basically, it's about being mindful, using it for the good stuff, safety, connection, information, and trying to set boundaries for the bad stuff.
Boundaries. Like maybe not checking it while your friend is trying to have a conversation with you in a park?
You're absolutely right. My bad. Boundaries start now. So, what were you saying about the birds?
That's better. I was saying they're probably tweeting about how we're finally paying attention to them.
Touché. Okay, no more phone. I'm officially present.
Good. Now about that movie tonight. Should we just enjoy the trailer and not look up the entire plot on our phones first?
Now that might be the biggest challenge of all.
You will listen to two roommates, Chloe and MIA. They are in their dorm room. Chloe is digging through a care package from home, filled with homemade cookies and snacks. Mia is watching, looking a bit concerned. Listen carefully and try to understand the new words and phrases as they appear to you.
Whoa, your mom really went all out. That's enough sugar to power this dorm for a month.
I know. It's amazing. She's the best. But I can feel my jeans getting tighter just looking at it all.
Don't even say that. You're fine. But it does make me think. We were just talking about that in my health class. The whole obesity debate. It's way more complicated than just eat less, move more.
Right? Like, is it really just a personal choice? Or is it a disease? My mom struggles with her weight, and she tries so hard. It seems unfair to just say she isn't trying.
That's what the pro side says. They argue it should be classified as a disease because for a lot of people, it's about genetics, hormones, even your metabolism. Your body can fight against you to keep the weight on. It's not just willpower.
That makes so much sense. It would also mean health insurance might cover more treatments, like nutritionists or doctors. It wouldn't be seen as just a cosmetic thing.
Exactly. But then there's the other side, the con side. Says calling it a disease takes away personal responsibility. Like, if it's a disease, then it's not my fault. So why should I even try to manage it? They worry it makes people feel helpless.
I get that too. I mean, we do have some control, right? We can choose to take a walk instead of watching another episode. We can choose an apple over a cookie sometimes.
Sometimes, but then the pro side would say, yeah, but it's not that simple. Our environment is designed to make us gain weight. Look at this. Processed food is everywhere. It's cheap And it's addictive. And our cities are built for cars, not for walking.
And the marketing. They advertise junk food everywhere. It's so hard to escape. So, is it really a personal failure or a society failure?
That's the million-dollar question. And then there's the whole body positivity movement. On one hand, it's so important to feel good about yourself at any size and not be shamed. Shame doesn't help anyone.
Absolutely. Nobody should be bullied.
But the con side worries that if we celebrate all body sizes, we might accidentally ignore the health risks. Like, we can't pretend that carrying a lot of extra weight isn't hard on your heart, your joints, and can lead to diabetes.
So it's like a balancing act. Be kind to yourself, but also be honest about your health. It's so tricky.
It really is. I don't think there's an easy answer. It's probably both. It's a biological thing for many people, and it's about personal choices, and it's about our unhealthy environment. All of it together.
So what's the solution? It feels too big for just one person to fix.
I think the article's point is that we need to stop blaming and start understanding. We need better education, better access to healthy food, and more support for people who are struggling. It's not about shame, it's about health.
Well, I feel better and a little smarter. Now, want to split this last cookie and then maybe go for a walk around campus?
Now, that's a balanced solution I can get behind. Deal.
You will listen to two friends, Leo and Sam. They are studying in the common room. Sam is using a grammar checking app on his essay, while Leo is sketching in a notebook. Listen carefully and try to understand the new words and phrases as they appear to you.
Is that app writing your paper for you? No way, it's just a tool, like a superpowered spell check. It's suggesting ways to make my sentences clearer, that's all. But it got me thinking, where do we draw the line? This is pretty basic AI. The stuff they're debating on Britannica is wild.
Oh, the AI debate. I skimmed that. It's a huge can of worms. Seems like everyone's either terrified it's going to end the world or convinced it's going to save it.
Right? Let's start with the good. The pro side is incredibly optimistic. They talk about AI revolutionizing medicine, like algorithms that can look at an MRI scan and spot a tumor way earlier than any human radiologist could. That's not just convenient, that's life-saving.
That is amazing. And it's not just medicine, right? Climate change. They say AI can analyze massive amounts of data on weather patterns to help us predict natural disasters better or design more efficient renewable energy systems. It could help solve some of our biggest problems.
Exactly. And for everyday stuff, it's already making things more efficient. The mapping apps that find us the fastest route, the recommendations for what to watch next, it's just helpful. The pro side says it will free us up from boring, repetitive jobs so we can focus on more creative and meaningful work.
Okay, but that's where it gets scary for me. The con side has a point about jobs. What happens to all the truck drivers, cashiers, and even like paralegals if AI can do their jobs cheaper and faster? That could lead to massive unemployment and make inequality even worse.
Yeah, that's a huge concern. And it's not just blue-collar jobs. The article talked about AI generating art, music, and writing. If a computer can make a song in the style of the Beatles, what does that mean for human artists? Does it devalue creativity?
It feels soulless. And that's before we even get to the real sci-fi nightmare stuff. The con side is terrified of super intelligent AI. What if we create something that's smarter than us and we can't control it? It's not that it would be evil, but its goals might not align with ours at all. Think of a robot whose only job is to solve climate change. It might decide the most efficient way is to
get rid of humanity.
Okay, that's a terrifying thought. And even before we get to that, there are huge problems right now. Bias. AI systems are trained on data from the real world, which is full of human biases. So an AI used to help with hiring might accidentally discriminate against women or people of color because it learned from past biased hiring decisions. We could be automating inequality and the privacy thing. AI needs massive amounts of data to learn. That means companies and governments are collecting more information about us than ever. It's a surveillance dream. It's helpful when your phone predicts what you want to type next, but it's creepy because it means it's always listening and learning. So what's the answer? Do we stop developing it? The pro side would say we can't put the genie back in the bottle. Other countries are racing ahead with AI, so if we don't, we could fall behind economically and militarily. It's an arms race.
But the con side says we have to be incredibly careful. We need strong regulations and ethical guidelines before this technology gets more powerful. We can't just invent first and ask questions later, especially with something this transformative.
You know, it feels like we're at a crossroads. This technology has so much potential for good, curing diseases, saving the planet, but it also has potential for incredible harm, mass job loss, uncontrolled weapons, and even threats to humanity itself.
The Britannica article's point seems to be that the technology itself isn't good or bad. It's a tool. It's all about how we choose to use it. The real debate is about us, not the AI. Do we have the wisdom to guide this technology responsibly?
Deep thoughts for a Tuesday afternoon. So, is it okay if I use my AI grammar checker, or am I selling my soul to the machine?
I think your soul is safe for now, but maybe let's not ask it to write the whole next essay. Deal?
Deal. Human creativity, 1, AI, 0, for now.
Two friends, Jasmine and Lena, are browsing in a cozy bookstore. Listen to them carefully and try to understand the new words and phrases as they appear to you.
I never know what to read next. There are too many choices. I wish I could just know which ones are the real classics, you know?
You know, Britannica actually has a list of the 12 novels considered the greatest book ever written. It's a great place to start. We could probably find most of them in this store.
Really? Which ones? I bet War and Peace is on there. It's the ultimate I'm well-read book, even if no one's actually finished it.
Of course it is. Tolstoy's epic is basically the definition of the great novel. It uses the Napoleonic Wars as a backdrop to explore everything: history, philosophy, psychology. But it's not the only Russian one. There's also Anna Karenina by Tolstoy. It's a tragedy about adultery and social judgment, but it's so profound in its humanity.
Okay, heavy hitters. What else?
Well, there's Madame Bovary by Gustave Flaubert. It's kind of a similar theme, a woman trapped by the boringness of her life and her romantic dreams. But it was so scandalous when it came out that Flaubert was put on trial for it.
I love a scandalous book. Any Americans?
So many. Lolita by Vladimir Nabokov. It's about this professor, Humbert, who's obsessed with a 12-year-old girl. It's deeply disturbing, but the writing is some of the most beautiful, dazzling prose ever written in English. It's a masterpiece that makes you uncomfortable on purpose.
Wow, okay. That's a tough read, I bet.
For sure. On a different note, there's The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. It's this slim, perfect tragedy about the American dream and the emptiness of wealth and glamour in the jazz age. It's probably the most assigned book in American high schools for a reason.
I actually read that one. What about bigger American books?
In Search of Lost Time by Marcel Proust is the biggest of all, like 3,000 pages big. It's a French novel that's all about memory. The famous part is when he dips a Madeleine cookie into tea, and it unlocks a flood of memories from his childhood. It's the ultimate novel about the power of the past.
3,000 pages? Maybe an audiobook for that one. What about something with a little more action?
Don Quixote by Miguel de Cervantes. It's from the early 1600s, and it's considered the first modern novel. It's about this old guy who reads so many chivalry romances that he goes crazy and decides to become a knight errant. It's hilarious and sad and incredibly influential.
Oh, I've heard of that. The guy who fights the windmills.
Exactly. Then there's Ulysses by James Joyce. That one is famous for being difficult. It chronicles a single day in Dublin, but it's written in a stream of consciousness style that's supposed to mirror the character's thoughts. It's a book you don't just read, you study it.
My head hurts already. Anything a bit more accessible?
Definitely. 100 Years of Solitude by Gabriel García Márquez. It's a magical realist epic about the Buendia family in the fictional town of Macondo. It has ghosts, prophecies, and a lot of rain. It's beautiful and strange and won him the Nobel Prize.
That sounds more my speed. Any others?
A few more big ones. The Brothers Karamazov by Dostoevsky. It's a passionate philosophical novel that wrestles with God, free will, and morality. Middlemarch by George Eliot, which is a brilliant study of provincial English life and a masterpiece of realism. And Things Fall Apart by Chinua Achebe, which is a powerful response to colonialism, telling the story of Nigerian Igbo society before and after the Europeans arrived.
That's such a diverse list. I love that Things Fall Apart is on there. It's so important.
Right? It shows that the greatest books aren't just all old white guys. They're from different times, places, and perspectives. What they all have in common is that they changed literature. They tried something new and explored what it means to be human in a way that still feels relevant.
So, which one should I start with?
Well, if you want a tragic love story, go with Anna Karenina. If you want a funny, adventurous classic, Don Quixote. If you want short but powerful American tragedy, Gatsby. And if you want a magical family saga, 100 Years of Solitude.
I think I'll start with the magical one. It sounds amazing.
Great choice. Let's go see if they have a copy. Prepare to meet Colonel Aureliano Buendia.
Who?
You'll see, you'll see.
Two friends, Mark and Leo, are shooting hoops on a neighborhood court. They take a break, grabbing some water. Listen to them carefully and try to understand the new words and phrases as they appear to you.
Man, you can't teach height. I swear, if I were just a few inches taller...
You sound like my dad. He's always arguing with his buddies about the GOAT. It's a never-ending debate.
Oh, for sure. But you know, Britannica actually has a list of the top 10 greatest basketball players of all time. It's a pretty solid starting point for the argument.
No way. Let's hear it. Who's number one? It's got to be MJ, right?
Of course. Michael Jordan is number one. 6 NBA championships, 6 finals MVPs, 5 regular season MVPs. He was the ultimate competitor. The guy was a lockdown defender too, 9 all-defensive first-team selections. And his cultural impact with the Air Jordan brand is insane. He's the standard.
Yeah, you can't argue with that. But what about LeBron? Where's he?
LeBron James is number 2, and his case is crazy. He's the all-time leading scorer in NBA history. He's been to the finals 10 times with 3 different teams. His basketball IQ and passing are unreal for a guy his size. It's the ultimate debate. MJ's peak versus LeBron's insane longevity and all-around game.
That's a tough one. Okay, who rounds out the top 3?
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. The all-time scoring record stood for like 40 years until LeBron broke it. He won 6 championships and a record 6 MVP awards. That skyhook was the most unstoppable shot in history.
A legend. So who's next? Magic and Bird, I'm guessing.
You know it. Magic Johnson at number 4. He revolutionized the point guard position. A 6'9" guy who could run the fast break and play every position. 5 championships with the Showtime Lakers. And Larry Bird at number 5, the ultimate shooter and competitor. 3 MVPs in a row, 3 chips with the Celtics. Their rivalry in the 80s saved the NBA.
Love it. So who's the first big man after Kareem?
Bill Russell at number 6. He's the winner. 11 championships in 13 seasons with the Celtics. He was the heart of that dynasty and the greatest defensive center ever. They didn't even track blocks back then, but he would have led the league every year.
11 rings is just ridiculous. Who's after him?
Wilt Chamberlain at number 7, the most dominant statistical force ever. He averaged 50 points a season one year. He scored 100 points in a single game. He was just a physical marvel. The ultimate what if we had his full stats.
Unreal. So who are the modern guys besides LeBron?
Kobe Bryant is number 8, the Black Mamba. 5 championships, an 81-point game, and maybe the best footwork and killer instinct we've ever seen. He modeled his entire game after MJ.
R.I.P. Mamba. And number 9?
Tim Duncan, the big fundamental. Maybe the greatest power forward ever. He won 5 titles with the Spurs and was just consistently brilliant for 2 decades. Not flashy, just perfect.
And who snuck into the top 10?
It's a tie. Oscar Robertson and Shaquille O'Neal. The Big O was the first guy to average a triple-double for a whole season. A monster. And Shaq? The most physically dominant player of his era. He won 4 championships and just overpowered everyone.
Wow! No Steph Curry? He changed the entire game with the three-pointer.
He's probably just outside, knocking on the door. This list is always evolving, but it's cool to see the mix of eras. You've got the old-school legends like Russell and Wilt, the 80s magic of Magic and Bird, the 90s dominance of MJ, and the modern greatness of LeBron.
It's the ultimate barbershop debate. You could make a case for so many guys in a different order.
Exactly. That's what makes it fun. Now, you want to keep arguing, or you want to try to stop my unstoppable Kareem skyhook?
Bring it on, but no dunking. We're not all blessed with that height.
Two roommates, Mia and Chloe, are sorting a huge pile of laundry in their apartment. Chloe holds up a white shirt with a noticeable yellow sweat stain under the arm. Listen to them carefully and try to understand as much as you can.
I think this one's a lost cause. I've washed it like 3 times and this stain won't budge. It's destined for the rag bin.
Don't you dare. Have you tried baking soda?
For cookies? What are you talking about?
No, for laundry. It's like a miracle worker. I was just reading an article about all the things it can do. It's way cheaper and gentler than most of those chemical stain fighters.
Seriously? You just dump it in the wash?
You can, but for a set-in stain like that, you gotta make a paste. Mix a little baking soda with some water until it's like a thick glue. Rub it right into the stain and let it sit for like 15-30 minutes. Then toss it in the wash. It works on grease, food, sweat. It's magic.
Huh. I guess that makes sense. It's a mild abrasive, right? So it scrubs stuff out.
Exactly. But it's also a natural deodorizer. If you have gym clothes or towels that get that weird mildew smell, just add half a cup of baking soda to your detergent. It neutralizes the odors instead of just covering them up with perfume.
Okay, that I need. My workout leggings could clear a room. So you add it with the detergent?
Yep, right into the drum with your clothes. It helps balance the pH levels in the water so your detergent actually works better. It's like a laundry booster. It can even help keep whites bright without using harsh bleach.
What about colors? I don't want to ruin my good stuff.
Totally safe for colors. It's so gentle. You can even use it as a fabric softener substitute.
Shut up. How?
Add half a cup to the rinse cycle. It softens the water, which makes clothes feel softer naturally. And it's way cheaper than those dryer sheets. Speaking of, you can even dampen a washcloth. Sprinkle a little baking soda on it and toss that in the dryer with a load to reduce static cling.
Is there anything it can't do? Can it fold the clothes too?
I'm still working on that hack, but seriously, it's the best. It's also great for cleaning the washing machine itself. Run an empty hot cycle with a cup of baking soda to deodorize and break up any grimy residue.
Okay, you've convinced me. I'm a believer. Let's do an experiment. We'll treat this gross shirt with your magic paste and see what happens.
Yes, prepare to have your mind blown. And after this, I'll tell you how to use it to clean the kitchen sink.
Who are you? My grandma? But also, please do. This is the most useful conversation we've ever had.
Right? All hail the mighty orange box, the ultimate cheap green cleaning hack.
They both look at the sad shirt with newfound hope.
Two friends, Lena and Chloe, are sitting on a couch, scrolling on their phones. Lena suddenly gasps, sitting bolt upright. Listen to them carefully and try to understand as much as you can.
No way. No way.
What? What is it? Did you win something?
They're bringing it back. They're actually bringing it back.
Bringing what back? Lena, you're scaring me a little.
This Szechuan sauce. McDonald's is doing another limited run in 2025. Look!
Oh, no, Lena, no, not this again. I can't do this with you again.
What do you mean? This is the best news. This is the sauce from the 1998 Mulan promotion, the one from the Rick and Morty episode that started like a cultural meltdown.
A meltdown is right. I remember the last time they did this, it was a disaster. There were lines around the block. People were selling single packets on eBay for hundreds of dollars. There was that video of a guy sobbing in a McDonald's because they ran out. It was a whole thing. It was embarrassing.
This time will be different. They say they've learned their lesson. They're making more. It's a wider release. It's gonna be fine.
You say that now, but I remember the great Szechuan sauce panic of 2017. You made us drive to 3 different locations. You almost got into a fight with a teenager over the last 10-piece nugget.
He cut the line, and it was for the sauce. This isn't just sauce, Chloe. It's a piece of history. It's sweet and tangy and spicy all at once. It's nostalgia in a packet.
I get that. I do. The nostalgia is powerful, but I just don't want you to get your heart broken again. Or for us to waste a whole Saturday waiting in a line for a condiment.
I have to try. What if it's amazing? What if it's everything I remember? I'd always wonder.
Okay, fine.
Really?
Yes, really. But we are not going on the first day. We are not going during lunch. And we are absolutely not filming any emotional reactions if they're out. Deal?
Deal. Oh my God, thank you. You're the best. It's gonna be so fun.
You owe me big time. This is a 20-piece nugget level favor.
Anything. It's Szechuan sauce. It's worth it.
Two friends, Lena and Chloe, are at a slightly fancy cafe. Chloe is meticulously arranging her napkin on her lap, while Lena watches, her phone face up on the table. Listen to them carefully and try to understand as much as you can.
Oh, you might want to put that away, at least until we order.
What? Why? I'm just checking the time.
It's just an etiquette thing. I was reading this article about old school rules that are actually still really polite. Having your phone on the table, even face down, is like telling the person you're with that they're not your full priority, that you're waiting for something better to come along.
Seriously? That's a rule? It feels a little intense.
I know it sounds stuffy, but think about it. How do you feel when you're talking to someone and they keep glancing at their screen?
Okay, fine. Annoyed. You're right. She puts the phone in her purse. What other ancient wisdom did this article impart?
Okay, this is a good one. When you're introducing two people, you always say the name of the more important or older person first. Like, Grandma, this is my friend Lena. Lena, this is my grandmother Eleanor.
Oh, I've never thought about that. But it makes sense. It shows respect. What else?
Thank you notes, real ones, on paper, for gifts or after you've been a guest at someone's house. An email or text is okay, but a handwritten note is apparently still the gold standard. It shows you took real time and effort.
I am so guilty of the quick, thanks for the gift text. My aunt would probably faint if I mailed her a card.
Right? And this one is huge for work. Respond to every email, even if it's just to say, got this, thank you, or I'll look into this and get back to you by Friday. It closes the loop, and people don't wonder if you got it.
Okay, that's just good practice. I hate being left unread. Makes me so anxious.
Me too. Here's a subtle one I loved. In a conversation, you should never correct someone's grammar or pronunciation unless they are your parent or their teacher. It's just rude and humiliating.
Oh, I've definitely done that. Noted. No more grammar policing, my friends.
And for hosting, if you're having people over, you should never apologize for your cooking or your home. Just say, I'm so glad you're here. Apologizing just makes everyone uncomfortable.
That's actually brilliant. It shifts the focus to the company, not the perfection of the meal. I love that.
It's all basically about making other people feel comfortable and respected. It's not about being fancy, it's about being considerate.
So, does that mean I shouldn't have ordered the soup? Because I feel like I'm gonna slurp it loudly.
The article said to spoon your soup away from you in the bowl to avoid spills. But slurp if you want. I won't correct you. That would be bad etiquette.
See, you're a natural. Thanks for the lesson, Ms. Manners.
Anytime. Now, tell me about your week. You have my full phone-free attention.
In a cosy, slightly cluttered living room, two women in their late 20s, Chloe and Lena, are packing books into a box labelled Donate. Lena holds a worn paperback copy of To Kill a Mockingbird. She stares at it, a soft smile on her face, not moving. Listen to them carefully and try to understand as much as you can.
Hey, you gonna help pack or just have a moment with Mr. Darcy over there? We've got 3 more shelves to go.
It's not Mr. Darcy, it's this, Harper Lee.
Okay, are you finally admitting you're a book hoarder? Because we agreed, if we haven't read it in 5 years, it goes.
No, it's not that. I'll never read this one again, but I can't get rid of it. This book, it's why I'm a writer.
Really? How?
It was my sophomore year, Mrs. Albright's English class. I was a ghost, just quiet. Got okay grades, kept my head down. I didn't think I was good at anything, especially not writing. I can't even picture that. It's true. We were assigned this book, and we had to write an essay on the symbolism of the mockingbird. I worked harder on that paper than anything I'd ever done. I must have rewritten it 4 times. I turned it in, and I was actually proud of it.
Let me guess, you got an A+.
I got a C, and a note that said, "You can do better than this."
Ouch!
What a jerk! That's what I thought. I was crushed. I felt so stupid for thinking I could do it. I avoided her for a week. Then one day after class, she asked me to stay behind. My stomach just dropped. I thought I was in trouble. She pulled out my paper and she said, "I gave you a C because this is what I think you want to hear. It's safe, it's boring." Then she pointed to one single sentence I'd written near the end. I'd compared the fear the kids felt to a cold stone in your pocket, something you're always aware of. She circled it. "That," she said, her finger tapping the page, "that is your voice. That is real. I want a whole paper that sounds like that, not like a textbook." Wow. She told me to rewrite it, to be messy, to be honest, to not be afraid of being wrong. She said, "I don't want perfect, Lena. I want true." So I did. I wrote it all over again. I got an A, but the grade didn't matter. It was what she wrote at the bottom. It said, "Never bury your voice again. The world needs to hear it."
I think I have something in my eye.
She saw something in me I didn't see in myself. She didn't just teach me about English, she taught me that my perspective mattered. That's why I became a writer. Because one teacher took 5 minutes to see past the safe, boring paper and find the one true sentence.
Okay, that one definitely gets to stay. Do you ever talk to her? Tell her?
I sent her a copy of my first published article. I wrote a note on it that said, "You were right, I stopped burying it."
And?
She wrote back, one sentence. "I knew you would."
We're keeping all the books. I don't care what we said.
Deal.